Okay, let's talk a little bit about what this thing is. You saw that I dropped some stuff in here. Hopefully, you played around with it as well. A large language model is this is a conversational chat bot that's meant to be interacted with as if you were talking to it and having a conversation. And it's been trained. The free version has been trained on a bunch of data up until January 2022. I think it's like 3 billion data points or something. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff in there. So you can ask it questions and it synthesizes that information and it puts that information out. ChatGPT is by far the most popular in the public consciousness, but there's a ton of other options out there. Bard is Google's version of this, and they've actually taken ChatGPT and integrated it into uh, Bing, the search engine. So bing.com/chat. This is a search engine with ChatGPT embedded in there with it for you to be able to use it and modify your searches. So one of the first things that we need to start to talk about when we're using a large language model or ChatGPT specifically is prompt engineering. I mentioned this a little bit before. I'm going to use the term again: crap in, crap out. If you give it a bunch of garbage, it's going to spit out mediocre stuff. It will surprise you with some of the stuff that it will spit out for you. But the better that we can get about customizing our instructions, the better results we're going to get from a tool like this. And it can be really, really powerful. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to pick one of these. I'm going to explain all of these different, these 6 different things I have down here for you. I'm going to ask you to pick one and spend another 10 minutes really refining your search. The other thing that I would like you to do is notice that it is conversational. So I used this. Well, here, let's use the example I did in the video. I said I write a poem as if it were in Lord of the Rings about the Colorado Rockies. And you saw me go, oh, it wrote it about the Rockies, the mountains, which makes sense, not the baseball team. That's what I was referring to. I could say, I meant the baseball team. I'm not going to provide any more context and watch what happens. It apologizes, which is interesting because it's conversational. Uh, Yeah, and look, now it's referencing Coors Field. It's referencing fans cheering. All I said was, no, 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 the baseball team. Essentially said, you did that wrong. I meant something different, and it's going to fix it. And so you can just have this ongoing chat with it, this ongoing conversation. So make sure you are utilizing it that way to really refine your search. And on that note, these are some examples of if you want to just explore these on your own, go for it. Stop watching me, but I'm going to give you a brief overview of all of the things I have here for you. Code.org has some great potential prompts here for you. These are relatively self-explanatory. This will give a brief description of of how you're telling the AI to act, and then what you do is you literally copy this. You drop it into ChatGPT, and then you talk to it, right? Super cool. So there's a whole bunch of those here that can be very helpful. Teach with AI was actually put out by OpenAI, and this is a page all for teachers. So if you scroll down here, this will give you some different ways that teachers are using this. And then down here are some example prompts. Explore one of these. I actually have found this first one very, very helpful. It's been super awesome. These are I went through a PD on AI and just prompt engineering, and these are some of my favorites. Again, just take these and copy and paste and fill in the bolded sections here. This one specifically is about personalized assistance. So I love this because you're telling the AI, act like this. The more information and structure you can give it, the better your experience with it is going to be. You have a wealth of knowledge about. So I might say, just as an example, I'll only do it with this one. You're an expert concept-based learning tutor. You have a wealth of knowledge about student engagement. You're also a skillful instructional coach and classroom teacher. Please break down the concept of engagement strategies at 3 different levels: novice, teacher of 3 to 5 years, veteran teacher. Also provide one example at each level. Uh, Ask me questions based off of Washington State. And I like baseball. It's going to differentiate that feedback for me that fast. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Alternative perspectives. This is a very, very powerful one. Like if you're trying to think of something and brainstorm, it always helps to have alternative perspectives. You can do the exact same thing here where you copy, paste, and replace. Taking notes. So you can copy and paste your notes in there and then like have it summarized and have it give you main ideas back. Super powerful. And then if you have another idea that you want to explore, I highly suggest you start building this into your vocabulary as you're using this tool. Act like you are an expert in, you have read, or you are familiar with the works of Katie Novak and uh, the I'm blanking. What's the guy's name? Effect size John Hattie. Oof, that was difficult. To give them some reference, to give the chat bot some reference for what you're talking about. So set another 10-minute timer. Play around with this, but get more specific with your prompts.